how we always talk about Ultimate Spider-Man? Well, we got one of the main people on the book. Would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
Yeah, my name is David Marquez, and I am currently the regular ongoing artist on Ultimate Comics Spider-Man at Marvel.
Alright, so tell us a little bit about Ultimate Spider-Man, like what's going on, because it's not Peter Parker, right?
Right. So, as most of the fans will know, in the Ultimate Universe, the kind of alternate universe that Marvel's had running for a while, Peter Parker died last year.
Right. Spoil the book.
Oh, I know.
Alright, fine. So
It was a year ago. If you haven't read it, sorry. Spoilers are okay with this point.
Yeah.
And so what happened was Peter Parker died, but then a kid named Miles Morales, who's this half-black, half-Puerto Rican kid from Brooklyn, got bit by another spider from the same batch of spiders Peter got bit by.
Right.
And the way that happened is a spoiler I don't want to give away. But he got bit and developed new spider powers, a little bit different than Peter's, but still he can cling to walls, and he's the new Ultimate Spider-Man. And so he's been running around doing adventures and learning how to be a superhero for the past year.
It's great because we see a young Spider-Man, and what you do is you give him like this youth vibe that makes him feel like a kid, any kid off the street.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No.
One of the great things about this book is that there aren't that many books out there that feature a youthful lead.
Right.
And the fact that it's a young lead, it's the entire supporting cast for him, or like non-traditional character. You don't see that much of them. You know, like you see a lot of minority characters. To be perfectly frank about it. But the youth of the characters and the energy and like that uncertainty that we can all identify with. I mean, I grew up as a geek and a nerd and stuff, and I knew what it was like to kind of not really have any idea what I was doing. And it's great to see Miles do that same thing and identify with him on that level.
Right. And what's also great is the supporting characters. And I have a question.
Yeah.
Brian Michael Bendis that writes the book. Miles has a best friend who looks like someone that we know.
I know who you're talking
Mr. Pat Loca.
Yeah. I have no idea if that was intentional or not, but when Pat told me that, I was kind of, oh yeah.
You're like, I draw you. So what can you tell us about Spider-Man, where it's going?
Where it's going? Well, right now we're in the middle of Divided We Fall, which is a crossover, or actually it's about to start for y'all. I've been in the middle of drawing it.
Okay.
Divided We Fall, which is a crossover between the Ultimate Comics X-Men and Ultimate Comics Spider-Man. And it's basically the story of the return of Captain America, who in the Ultimate's been gone for a while after the events of...
Ultimate something.
Oh yeah, Ultimate. One of the other things that happened. Right. And as readers of the books will know, Ultimate Captain America and Peter Parker, Ultimate Spider-Man, had a relationship. And it was really hit Cap hard when Peter died. And so this is now Cap meeting the new Spider-Man and seeing exactly how that situation is going to play out.
Right. He hasn't met Miles yet.
Exactly. And think about, Cap, who's a pretty straight-laced, pretty conservative guy. How will he react to like another kid getting in the mask from what just happened to the previous kid? And so that comes into play, and it's been a lot of fun to draw.
Who's some of your favorite characters except Miles to draw?
Oh man, Miles is obviously fun. I love drawing Aaron, people who've just read issue number 12, you guys know what happens, but I love drawing Aaron and the Prowler costume. I love drawing Genki. I think that's how you say his name, Genki, is what Brian says. Yeah, Pat Loca, yes, exactly. Man, the entire book's fantastic. Actually, I've been really enjoying drawing Captain America. It's been fun doing that. Really everything and everybody. I love everything in it.
Cool. And you're also doing a book at Archaia.
Yeah, this is a book called The Joiners in 3D that my writing partner RJ Ryan and I've been working on pretty much since our first book together, Syndrome. Syndrome was a book that came out not quite 2 years ago. It's my first published work, so it's been kind of a crazy last 2 years. But he was one of the writers on it. I was drawing it, and when we wrapped, our working relationship had been so good we wanted to do another book together. And we wanted something that was different. And so I'm working in a very different style. It's going to be all in 3D. I'm doing all 3D conversion myself. And I've been 2 years of research into making the 3D look as good as possible. I'm really excited about it.
How do you do that? Like, obviously you draw your pages, but do you do something else in post?
Yeah, well, I work almost all digitally anyway. And when I'm working digitally, I can separate out my layers, foreground, middle ground, and background as I'm working on it. It's like on separate transparent layers. So in Photoshop, I can use that and run it through an automatic process that I've set up that takes those layers and presents them in depth.
Okay. So you do like Spider-Man digitally?
Primarily, yeah. There are a few things out there.
I'm like impressed because I'm not a big fan of digital stuff sometimes. It just looks like normal pencils.
Well, thanks, man. I mean, it's the kind of thing where I'm not trying to fool anybody by doing it. Like, I'm digital. I'm doing things that I wouldn't be able to do traditionally because I have digital tools. I use a lot of 3D programs. But I think it's important for readers and fans to know that like digital, traditional, there's different tools in the toolbox, and they can be used however by a talented artist. And it's the talent of the artist that matters, not really the tools so much. That might maybe vary.
Right. So since you're big on digital, what do you think of digital comics?
I'm a big fan. I mean, there's some things I like. I like the way my book looks, in particular in print. I think it's the way.
I don't think I've seen yours in print. Seriously.
Really?
We read it through Comixology.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I think I've seen it in store, but I haven't read it in print.
Yeah. I will always have a love for traditional comics, but I do think the digital comics are the way of the future, and the way that Marvel's been moving forward with their Infinite Comics initiative, I think is a really good indication of where they're going to be able to go with those technologies. We're catering the comics specifically to the medium or the delivery device we're going to be using.
Right. And the Infinite's gorgeous.
It's a really good looking book. Or a good series of books.
Yeah. So that's coming out in 2013.
Yes.
Do you have a
2013.
Do you have a date or not yet?
We're looking at early to mid 2013. It's since my Spider-Man work takes up so much of my time, I really can only work on that in my free time, and so I'm on schedule for like an early 2013, like May-ish release, but that'll be dependent on
Archaia and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Well, there you go, Comic Impact. The man that draws miles. Just read it. It's fun. One of the best comics around.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, dude.
No problem.